Hi, today's verse is verse 5 in chapter 1. Start with the Hebrew. V'zarach hashemesh uva hashemesh. The sun rises and the sun sets. It literally means the sun shines and the sun comes, but here it means rises and sets. Ve'el mekomo, and to its place, sho'ef, it yearns, zoreach husham, and there it shines. So once again, we have the literal, and something that I meant to mention when we did the verse before, which was talking about the land, the earth, is that if you look through these verses, verse 4 talked about the earth, verse 5 talks about the sun, verse 6 talks about the wind, and verse 7 talks about rivers. So that really, to me, represents the four elements. I haven't really seen any of the commentaries point this out, but it seems pretty obvious to me once you look for it, that we're looking at land, aretz, fire, the sun, the air, the wind, and water, the rivers. So we're just going to point out this theme in terms of those symbolic elements that the world and people are comprised of. And so now we're looking at the sun. So the sun represents a couple of different things. First of all, it's the sun itself. So just like we said, generations come and generations go, and the earth is always there. There's a fascinating homeostasis. The fascinating paradox of reality is that there's, as much as things change, they stay the same. There are cycles, there's evolution, there's things that come and go, and then there are things that are constant. And the sun is sort of both, because it's always there, we just don't always see it, and it seems to be moving, even though it's not moving, we're moving. And there's also the symbolism. So the word shemesh, sun, also means use, being able to serve or to have use for something. Like in Hanukkah, the candle that we use to light the others is called the shamash, like the shemesh. And so people and opportunities and things have their uses. Sometimes it shines and sometimes it recedes. But ultimately, everyone and everything wants and desires and yearns to shine. And so our sort of job and destiny as humans is to seek out our own opportunities to shine forth our use, and for other people to do the same. The sun also represents light, heat, warmth, growth, right? We need the sun in order to make things grow, in order to keep the earth warm enough so that there could be life. And dark times are often a symbol of confusion, difficulty, challenge, pain. So sometimes the sun shines and sometimes it recedes. Sometimes there are good times and sometimes there are more painful times. But ultimately, the sun always wants to shine. It yearns to come back and be bright. This is a world that's very diverse in experience. We see good things, we see difficult things, we see painful things, but belief in an ultimately good world, a world that desires to be corrected, to be fixed, is what will keep us going throughout all of these cycles of reality, of life, of experience. And I think that's part of what Kohelet was trying to teach us with this verse and with these, this theme of verses of the four elements and how they are represented by repetitive cycles in nature and stability, and also the symbolism that they offer us for our own human existence and moral choices.